All right, so we've got another deep dive to take a look at today,
Yeah.
and this one really piqued my interest.
Mm-hmm.
You sent this over to me a while back. I was just kind of waiting for the right time to really sink our teeth into it.
Yeah.
This art heist in London at the Royal Art Gallery.
I know it's got everything you could ask for.
Yeah, this is like a movie. I
Mhm.
mean, a missing masterpiece. We've got twists and turns.
Yeah.
Um,
Lies, deception,
it's all there.
it's all there.
I mean, right from the beginning,
Yeah.
you almost get the sense
Right.
this is an inside job. I mean,
Well, especially when you consider the alarm system.
yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Like, how is it that...
That expertly disabled alarm system,
Yeah.
the way that it was disabled
Yeah.
leads you to think that somebody on the inside
Right.
had to be involved somehow.
At least at first glance, it seems that way.
Yeah,
But as we'll find out,
right.
nothing is as it seems.
Yeah, it quickly becomes something much more complex.
Yeah, the source material really highlights that shift.
Right.
Like peeling back layers of an onion.
Yeah.
Every discovery reveals a new facet of the crime.
So let's start with those initial steps that the officers took.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're officers Brown and Patel.
Brown and Patel, that's right.
Brown and Patel.
Yeah.
Take us through those first couple steps that they took in this investigation.
Well, they did what any good investigator would do. They started with interviews,
Right.
security footage,
The whole 9 yards.
the whole 9 yards.
Yeah. So what jumped out at you from those early findings?
Well, the interview with the gallery owner, Mr. Harris,
Right.
didn't really yield much,
Okay.
which isn't unusual in these cases.
Right.
But the security footage
Yeah.
showing that masked figure at 2 a.m.,
Right.
that's where things started to get a little interesting,
okay.
especially when you consider what else was in the report.
Okay.
No fingerprints
Ooh.
and a broken lock.
Huh. It's like the thief was trying to taunt the police a little bit.
A little bit like, look how clever I am.
Yeah.
But
What would a seasoned art thief
right.
really make such an obvious mistake?
Such obvious clues, right?
That's where your source material on common art theft techniques comes in.
Okay.
Sometimes misdirection
Okay.
is used to throw investigators off.
So these seemingly amateur mistakes
Potentially.
could have been.
Could have been intentional.
Okay.
Designed to make the police focus on the wrong thing.
Oh, so it was like a magic trick.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Magician wants you to look at his left hand while he's doing something sneaky with his right.
And your source material had some examples of this, right?
Oh, yeah. Tons of examples.
Like what?
Well, one that jumps to mind immediately is the Gardner Museum heist in Boston.
Oh, yeah.
Back in the 90s, I think it was.
Yeah.
They left the empty frames.
Really?
It's almost as if they were taunting the authorities.
Oh, wow. That's giving me chills just thinking about that.
Yeah, it's
Okay. Chilling stuff.
So back to the case in London,
Right.
it seems like that inside job theory
Yeah.
is starting to fall apart.
It's starting to crumble.
Yeah. So where do the detectives go from there?
Well, they shift their focus to the gallery staff,
Okay.
which is,
Makes sense, right?
classic investigative technique.
You got to look at the people who work there.
When the physical evidence doesn't add up,
Right.
you start looking at the human element,
Okay.
motives,
Yeah.
opportunity,
Connections.
all that.
Yeah, and it turns out their instincts were right.
They were right.
They found one of the staff members' houses was left open.
Yeah.
Signs of a struggle.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ah.
Oh, it is right.
Starting to get a little more
Oh,
intense.
yeah, this is feeling more like a thriller now.
Yeah, for sure.
Less of it.
Injecting that urgency and that danger
Yeah.
into the investigation.
At this point,
Yeah.
they don't know if this staff member is a victim,
Right.
a suspect, or something else entirely. And it's here that we get this little glimpse into Officer Brown's personal history.
I love this part.
Yeah, he shares this really interesting anecdote
Mm.
about the changing face of London crime.
Yes.
I mean, he's been doing this for a long time.
Yeah, and that anecdote, I think, provides valuable context.
Right.
Officer Brown, having seen London evolve over decades,
Right.
understands that crime itself has evolved.
Yeah.
It's no longer just about brute force.
Right.
It's about strategy technology.
Exploiting vulnerability.
Exporting vulnerabilities, yeah.
So he's bringing that historical perspective
Absolutely.
to the case.
Yeah, it's like the city itself is a witness
Yeah.
to how the game has changed.
Wow, I like that.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
Yeah?
But that perspective becomes even more important
Yeah.
as we move into the next phase of
Yeah.
the investigation
Okay.
because they find a photograph
Oh,
in the staff member's house.
a photograph.
A photo of them with a mysterious unknown man.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, did your source material shed any light?
On who this man might be.
Yeah.
Not at this stage.
Okay.
But that photograph introduces a whole other layer of complexity
Okay.
to the case.
So now we've got a whole new set of questions
Right.
about this staff member.
About their connections, their potential involvement in something bigger than just a simple art theft.
It's like suddenly the plot thickens.
Exactly.
You're starting to see the outlines of this bigger picture, but all the pieces are still scattered.
Yeah. And then, as if the photograph wasn't enough,
Oh, no.
the investigators uncover a hidden camera
Oh, yeah?
in the gallery storage room.
I remember this detail.
Yeah.
And this camera shows two figures handling a large cloth-wrapped package.
Presumably the stolen painting.
Yeah.
It would seem so at this point.
Right. And with this visual evidence, the investigation gains some momentum.
Right. They've got faces now.
Right.
Movements. A tangible trail to follow.
So from this seemingly dead end, they now have a direction to take the investigation.
It seems so.
So what did your source material say about what the police did next?
Well, the source material actually details a very carefully planned warehouse raid.
Okay.
It seems like this camera footage led them to this location.
Okay.
And from the way it's described, it sounds like the investigators were definitely preparing for a confrontation.
And they got one.
Oh, they did.
From the way you described it in your notes?
Yeah.
This Officer Brown, I mean, it sounds like something straight out of an action movie.
Yeah, I mean, the author of this piece definitely knows how to build suspense.
Yeah.
But, you know, it also highlights Officer Brown's experience and training.
Well, he's been doing this for a long time.
Yeah, he's able to assess the situation, adapt to the chaos, make a split-second decision.
And it leads to an arrest.
It does.
But then comes the twist.
Oh, yes.
The recovered painting is a fake, a decoy.
A decoy.
So what did your research on art forgery say about this?
Well, this is actually a pretty common tactic.
Really?
In high-profile art thefts.
Okay.
It buys the thieves time.
They get away with the real one.
To move the real artwork to a safer location.
While the police are busy.
Well, everybody's focused on this fake.
Chasing this dead end.
Yeah.
So while everyone's looking at this fake.
Potentially.
This real painting could be halfway across the world.
It's a possibility,
Yeah.
Your source material on art trafficking networks explains how quickly stolen artwork can disappear.
Wow.
Into this shadowy underworld.
Yeah, it's a little sobering, isn't it?
It is.
To think about.
It is.
How organized these criminal operations can be.
Yeah, they're sophisticated, that's for sure.
But, okay, so we've got this fake painting.
Yeah.
But it wasn't a total dead end.
No.
Because they had fingerprints.
They did.
Right?
And those fingerprints led them to Mark.
And I gotta say, this Mark guy seems to come out of thin air.
It seems that way.
Yeah, but also he's like the key to unlocking this whole mystery.
Yeah, your note suggests that this late arriving suspect might be the key to the whole thing.
It's like we're working on this jigsaw puzzle with the wrong picture as our reference.
Exactly.
Now everything that we thought we knew has to be reevaluated.
Yeah. Is this guy the mastermind behind it all?
Well, that's the big question, isn't it?
That's the million-dollar question.
If he is the mastermind, what could his end game be?
Well, yeah.
What's he after?
One of your sources talks about the concept of the long con.
Okay.
You know, sometimes what seems like a simple heist is actually a distraction.
Yeah.
A way to divert attention.
Get something else.
From a much larger scheme.
Oh, so the painting wasn't the target at all?
Potentially.
Okay.
What if there was something else in the gallery?
Oh, like what?
That Mark was after. I mean, think about it.
Yeah.
You've got those rumored secret vaults beneath the Royal Art Gallery?
Yeah.
What if those are more than just an urban legend?
Okay, now you're giving me goosebumps.
Yeah.
This is like...
It's a good one.
We've stumbled onto a Dan Brown novel or something.
How cool. It's exciting.
Yeah, it is, but it's scary too.
Yeah.
Okay, so...
We've also got this fake painting.
Right. Was it just to buy time?
Right.
We were talking about earlier.
Or could it have served another purpose?
Ooh, what do you mean?
What if it contains some sort of hidden message?
Oh.
Or a clue that the investigators overlooked?
Oh, like a...
Something only visible under a certain type of light?
Right.
Or using a specific chemical process?
So the answers might be right in front of them?
It's possible.
They just haven't figured out how to look at it?
Your source material actually mentions cases where forgers have embedded hidden messages or watermarks
Wow.
within their work.
So you never know.
You never know.
But, okay, so we've got this fake painting. We've got Mark.
Yeah.
But where do those two guys that they arrested?
Right, the two suspects
Yeah.
that were caught at the warehouse.
Yeah, where do they fit in?
Where do they fit?
Were they just pawns in Mark's game?
Yeah, were they deliberately misled,
Right.
believing that they were stealing the real painting?
Or did they know
Yeah.
that they were part of something bigger?
That's the question.
I mean, I guess that's what the investigators are going to have to figure out.
I guess so.
I mean, that's their job.
They've got to separate truth from lies,
Right.
piece together a narrative from potentially unreliable sources.
And, I mean,
It's a tough job,
yeah, you're right.
but somebody's got to do it.
It's not just about the facts either, is it?
No.
It's about understanding the psychology
Right.
of these two suspects.
Their motivations.
And motivations.
Their vulnerabilities.
Wow.
All of that.
So we started with this art heist.
Yeah.
And this one name, Mark, has just blown everything wide open.
It has.
We really don't know anything anymore.
Back to square one.
It's like we're back at the beginning,
Almost.
but we've got more questions now.
We do.
Yeah.
It's a reminder that even in a world of all this technology and surveillance,
Mm-hmm.
there are still secrets out there
Yeah.
lurking in the shadows.
It's a reminder, too, that
With-
there's always more to the story
Oh,
than
wow.
meets the eye.
Absolutely.
And that's what makes this deep dive.
So interesting.
Yeah, so captivating.
You think we're going to get more information on this?
Well, I hope so.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe your source material will get updated.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, I mean, this is
It's a good one.
a good one.
Yeah.
But yeah, until then, I guess we'll just have to keep those detective hats on.
Keep theorizing.
So curious.
Yes.
Yeah. And hopefully we
Almost
get
like
some
that.
answers.
We will.
All right, well, thanks for joining us for this deep dive,
Thanks for having me
and we'll be back soon.
with another fascinating story.
Yeah.
Okay. So we've been going pretty deep on this London art heist.
We have.
And with every layer that we uncover,
Right.
this mystery,
Yeah,
it just seems to get deeper,
it really does.
especially with this Mark guy
Right.
who just seems to have come out of nowhere.
Yeah, he kind of threw a wrench into everything.
You did?
The source material doesn't really offer any concrete answers,
Right, which makes
which
it
honestly makes it even more intriguing.
even more interesting.
Like, were we looking at the wrong puzzle this whole time?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
What started out as this straightforward art theft
Right.
now feels like
Yeah.
something much more complex.
Like a multi-layered
yeah.
kind of scheme.
So if Mark is the mastermind,
Yeah.
what could his end game be?
Well, one of your sources
Yeah.
on high-profile art thefts
Okay.
talks about this concept of the long con.
Okay, so like the Ocean's 11 type stuff.
A little bit, yeah. Where, yeah.
A simple heist
Right.
is actually a distraction
Okay.
to divert attention from something much larger.
So the painting wasn't the target.
Potentially not.
Okay.
What if there was something else in that gallery?
Oh, so we're back to those secret vaults.
Maybe.
Oh, man.
Maybe those are more than just an urban legend.
Oh, you're getting me all worked up over
A
here.
good one, right?
This is like we're in a Dan Brown novel.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
even aside from the secret vaults,
Right?
we've got to think about the fake painting.
Yeah. Was it just to buy time,
Yeah.
like we were talking about?
Right. Or could it have served another purpose?
What do you mean?
What if there was a hidden message
In the fake.
in the fake?
Oh, like a clue that they overlooked.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Something that's only visible under a certain type of light,
Right.
or if you use a specific chemical process on it.
So the answers could be right in front of them.
Potentially.
Wow. That would be something.
Your source material mentions
Yeah.
a few cases
Okay.
where forgers
Okay.
actually embed hidden messages or watermarks
Really?
in their work.
Wow. So it's not
It's not unheard of.
as crazy as it sounds.
Not at all.
Okay. But I guess the question remains.
What's that?
Where do those two guys
Right.
that got arrested?
The two suspects from the warehouse.
Yeah, those two.
Yeah.
Where do they fit in?
Yeah. That's the question.
Were they in on it?
Were they deliberately misled by Mark,
Yeah. Did they know what they were doing?
thinking they were stealing the real deal?
Right.
Or were they knowingly part of something bigger?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's hard to say.
I guess that's the investigator's job.
Yeah. To sort through all that.
Separate the truth from the lies.
Yeah.
Piece together this narrative
Yeah.
from unreliable
A
sources.
tough job.
It is.
Yeah. It's crazy though, isn't it?
What's that?
That this one name, Mark,
Right.
has just kind of come out of nowhere.
Yeah. And just
And completely changed the game.
changed everything. Yeah. We thought we knew what was going on.
Yeah, I thought we were so close.
I know, me too.
And then, bam, Mark.
It's a good reminder, though.
Oh, of what?
That even in a world of technology and surveillance,
right,
there are still secrets out there.
Yeah, there are.
There are.
And it's a reminder that there's always more to the story than meets the eye.
Absolutely.
And that's what makes this deep dive
so interesting.
So fascinating.
Yeah. All right, well.
So where does that leave us?
Well, I mean, we're at the end of our deep dive here.
Well,
and we still have so many questions.
I know, like, who is Mark?
Yeah, who is Mark?
Where's the real painting?
What is the real painting?
What other twists are waiting for us?
Oh, it's even the right story.
I know.
But
that's part of the fun, isn't it?
It is.
That's what keeps us coming back.
Yeah, you're right. It's
a good one.
It's a really good one.
Yeah.
But I guess only time will tell.
Yeah, I guess so.
What the answers are to these questions.
Hopefully your source material gets updated soon.
Yeah, I hope so.
With some more information.
I mean, this case,
yeah,
though it's still unresolved,
it does.
It offers this really fascinating window into this world of art theft.
Yeah.
This web of deception.
Right.
And this pursuit of justice.
And the human element.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for joining us for this deep dive.
Thanks for having me.
And we will be back soon with another fascinating story.